The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The NFL season is officially over. Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl champion. We'll talk with Joe Benigno about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. First day officially of the NFL offseason, and it starts right now.
I let the organization down, and I let the players down, and that burns me. It really does. This season's on me, and we're going to work our ass off to get this shit exactly where it needs to be.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everyone. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. As always, we are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Big thank you to everyone who tuned in to any of our live shows from Radio Row in San Francisco last week. Good to be back, and we certainly have a lot to discuss. And joining us right now is our guy, Joe Benigno, the host of the Oh the Pain podcast. Joe, Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl champion. What was your reaction watching it all last night?
Well, look, I got no issues with that. I was just happy to see the Patriots get their rear end handed to them. I mean, that was the best part. And I tell you this, that was as dominant a performance as I've seen a defense have. I don't think there's any question about that. You know, the two touchdowns they had late were kind of garbage touchdowns. I guess when they were down 19-0 and scored, maybe a little glimmer there for the Patriots. But, you know, never did you ever think New England had a shot in this game. You just never did. And I'll tell you, look, Kenneth Walker had a phenomenal game. The MVP should have been the entire Seattle defense. I mean, right? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, to me, it wasn't even close. They sacked them 6 times, 3 turnovers in the game. 17 points off the turnovers, a defensive touchdown. The Seattle defense was the MVP of the game.
You could have also gave it to maybe Jason Myers as well. I mean, he was
phenomenal. Five field goals. That's true. That's true. Another extra. By the way, let me just throw this out there. I know I texted this to you. All right. Now, this is off the top of my head. It's at least 9 with Sam Darnold and Leonard Williams now winning a Super Bowl. Okay. And by the way, I don't know if you caught this when they were doing the post game when you saw for a second they showed Darnold and Leonard Williams kind of hugging each other, saying, "God, thank God that we don't play for the Jets anymore." There is now 9. I count 9. Number 1 Jet draft choices. Number 1, not just guys they drafted. 9 first-round Jet picks that have won Super Bowls for other teams. Okay, Sam Darnold, Leonard Williams, Mekhi Becton last year with the Eagles, Keyshawn Johnson, Darrelle Revis, John Riggins, Jonathan Vilma, Burgess Owens, and James Farrier. Those were all first-round Jet draft choices who won Super Bowls and were prominent members of teams that won Super Bowls that were not the New York Jets. That is a freaking disgrace.
It's hard to believe. And it's just amazing when you look at Sam's career because it felt like we knew that he had all this talent. And
right.
I'll never forgive the Jets for what they put him in. I mean, they gave him Todd Bowles and Adam Gase as his coaches. He had no protection. He had no weapons. And we always knew the talent was there. Like I remember at the end of his rookie year, the 4-game stretch where he had the highest quarterback rating in the league. Even when he played after the mono situation in 2019, he was 7-6 that year. If you look at his record, then that last year with Gase, it just all fell apart. And then they move on and, took him to be in the right environment these last couple of years to put it together. But I mean, I'll always root for the guy. He's the one guy that left the Jets and has never taken shots at the Jets since leaving. And it's an amazing story. I'm truly happy for him.
Well, look, I mean, I'd be more upset if I'm a Viking fan. I mean, if I'm a Viking fan, your team was 14-3 with this guy as the starting quarterback last year. And I know he didn't play well in in that big game against the Lions, which was basically for the #1 seed in the conference. He didn't play well in the playoff game. I get it. But you dump this guy for a rookie or second-year player, McCarthy, and he really basically, well, I know they wound up being 9-8. He wasn't any good. I mean, and here's Darnold going on to it. He's only, I think him and Tom Brady have had 14-win seasons back-to-back years. I mean, I think that's it. I mean, unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. I think if I'm a Viking fan, I'd be very upset today, much more than if you are a Jet fan.
100%. And also think of Carolina, too. They had Sam and Baker in the same quarterback room and did nothing with those guys.
That's right. 100%. He really learned with the Niners. He was in San Francisco for a while. I think that's where it really all kicked in for him, with Kyle Shanahan and company. I really do.
I agree with you. Now, as from a Patriots standpoint, watching Drake May run for his life, the one thing I could tell you the Jets got right, and there weren't many from this past year, they nailed it by getting Armand Membu at pick 7. Because if you watched Will Campbell, their left tackle last night, I think he allowed like a Super Bowl record amount of pressures in a single game since they started keeping track of that stuff. I mean, he was brutal. He was dominated. He really had a bad playoff run in general anytime they faced elite rushers. So the Jets at least got it right with Membu falling into their lap at pick 7 a year ago.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I think Drake May did not play well the entire playoff run. I mean, you could even go back to the Charger game. Let's be honest. The game against Houston, he turned the ball over, 3 times in that game? Could have been more. Remember, there was that big fumble early in the game, was on a 3-yard line that the Patriots wound up recovering. And really, they beat the Texans because C.J. Stroud was absolutely brutal and basically handed them the game. And then if you look at the Denver game, he did nothing in that game. They scored 10 points. He was effective running the ball. That was it, Denver lost that game for bad coaching by Sean Payton, not kicking a field goal that would have made it 10-0 at the time, and not realizing that you're going to get a blizzard in the second half of this football game, and you better get capitalize as much as you can early on. And May didn't play. So I don't think May played well at all in the entire playoff run. The defense was very good, and I think they got a few breaks, go from the other team. Obviously, the Bo Nix injury, he doesn't play in the championship game. So I think New England got some breaks along the way. I'm not taking it away. They made it to the Super Bowl. They won 14 games this year in the regular season. Give Vrabel and May credit. But Drake May was nothing earth-shaking in the playoffs.
We're talking with Joe Benigno. He's joining us on a Monday following the Super Bowl, which means the NFL offseason is officially here. Reminder, if you ever miss a live show, you can listen back on Apple or Spotify. Just search Jake Asman Show, and you can get the full YouTube show as an audio form podcast in whatever platform you want it in. John, presented by FanDuel, and I saw this tweet from Zach Rosenblatt, who covers the Jets for The Athletic. The Jets right now on FanDuel currently have the 32nd best odds of winning the Super Bowl next year at plus 25,000. So will Joe B be placing a wager on the Jets at plus 25,000?
No, I'm not just throwing money away. I mean, I don't think that's a very intelligent move, and I'm not surprised that they're the 32nd worst odds. Look, the worst odds there is. Look, couple positives. Number one, the Frank Reich hiring I thought was outstanding. They finally got a guy that actually knows what he's doing to be the offensive coordinator. He's clearly somebody that could take over as the head coach if things go south quickly for Aaron Glenn next year. I thought that was a really good move. I thought it was interesting they brought in Rex Ryan's son to be the passing coordinator. I thought that was interesting.
Did you see the clip of Rex reacting live on the air when they had Adam Schefter break the news?
No, I did not see that, no.
Here you go. I want your reaction to this. This is from Connie Carver, who clipped it.
Major coaching headline. Rex Ryan's son, Seth Ryan, has become the passing game coordinator of the New York Jets. Hey, this is the 3rd generation of Ryans in New York. Hopefully, there's a Ryan smart enough to bring Greeny a little bit of happiness. We got Buddy Ryan, Rex Ryan, and now Seth Ryan with the Jets, all in the family, and a tremendous story. We all now have to root for the Jets.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you, it's crazy, but obviously the kid, there's something wrong with him. I mean, he's an offensive coach. What the hell is that? He's out of the will. I'm not proud of the kid. I don't know. But I tell you what, just watch out because this dude's legit, like I was and just like my old man is. This guy's legit, and he's going to be on the sideline being a head coach one of these days, too.
Get your sweater vest back out, Rex.
With the sweater vest, go
Get
for it, kid.
out.
Hey, real quick, there's a lot of Jets fan. Greeny, you're a Jets fan. You're an old school Jets fan. Now, us three, we got to Congratulations, Sam.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you guys how much joy it has brought me over the years. So I'm glad to welcome you on board. All right, here we go.
How about that, Joe?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, you see Teddy Bruschi there. I don't think he's rooting for the Jets anytime soon.
Neither was Randy Moss. I don't care what he says publicly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, he had his best year ever with the Patriots. Look, you know, and I thought Greenberg's reaction was great. Yeah, it's brought me a lot of joy over the years, right? A lot of hemorrhoids, pretty much. But look, so I think that's an upgrade. I mean, look, I wish Rex was the head coach. You know how I feel about that. But I think bringing in Reich. We'll see what Seth Ryan brings to the table as the passing coordinator. But I think it bodes well if the Jets do wind up drafting a young quarterback here, and I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I wouldn't stretch for that this year. You got somebody that in Reich that can really tutor a young quarterback. So I'm very happy with that. Obviously, the draft capital they have is terrific. You know, there's no doubt about that. And I said this to you, bro, with the second pick in it, unless Trinidad Chambliss, who I love from Ole Miss, and I don't know what's happening with him. I guess he's still in the courts, whether or not he wants to go back to school for a year. I guess the NCAA said no. Now he's got it in the courts, so we don't know what's going to happen there. But I would take the best. I don't care whoever you think is the best defensive player. That's who I would take with the second pick in the draft. And I got to tell you, bro, with the 16th pick in the draft, I would take the next best defensive player that I could get. I'm not stretching for Ty Simpson. The one guy I would take, okay, if Chambliss doesn't come out, the only guy I would consider taking, and thank God Dante Moore stayed in school and the Jets were not tempted to take him. Thank God. And Carson Beck, and I say that not because I think Carson Beck is great, but because Carson Beck has started 43 games in college football. He's 24 years old, I believe. You know, he's not some raw kid coming into the league. I would take a shot at him, bro. He was very good in the playoffs with Miami this year. Obviously, threw the big pick at the end of the championship game against IU. But still, I thought he played very well. He did a lot of winning in Georgia when he was there. So he's been with winning programs his entire time in college football. You know, I think he's worth the flyer in the second round. I really do. And he might not even get to the second round because you know how things go with quarterbacks. All of a sudden, you know, everybody's going in the first round that you don't think is. So, you know, but I would consider him. I really would.
He's a guy that is probably more of a day 3 pick just based on what I've seen. But you never know with quarterbacks. I mean, Christian Hackenberg went in the second round.
You don't know.
Yeah. You just
he's
don't know.
Shot, bro. Even if you got him in the third or fourth round, he's worth a shot. I'll say that.
What are your thoughts on Diego Pavia being 5'9" and 3/4?
Oh, you mean his height, you mean?
Yeah, so he was at the Senior Bowl and they measured him. I watched him in person, and it's amazing how dominant he was in the SEC at his height. But Joe, he's an inch and 3/4 taller than I am. It's insane.
Well, I'll tell you, man, he's got a lot of talent. You know, somebody's going to grab him and they're going to be pleasantly surprised. You know, I take a shot at him too. Look, if you could get him late, look, who knows? Maybe it's another Shedeur Sanders situation. I would take a shot at Pavia. What do you got to lose? If he's sitting there with a 4th round draft choice, bro, why wouldn't you take him? You know, that's me.
I feel you. And look, there's going to be a quarterback added at some point in the draft.
Right,
it just makes too much sense. Now,
well, also, let me just say this. You know, they're going to draft. You know, they're going to sign a veteran quarterback. That's common.
That's where I was going next. Do you have a preference?
Yeah, they got a lot of money under the cap. You got to bring a veteran guy in here to start the season. There's no doubt about it.
You might need 2 and kind of do what the Giants did, for example. But do you have a preference? It sounds like Kirk Cousins is, in fact, going to be released. So he's going to be out there. You've heard rumblings of maybe Kyler Murray or Jacoby Brissett, who's got a relationship, of course, with Frank Reich from their days in Indy together. Do you have a preference of some of the veteran options out there to be the bridge QB?
Well, I want no part of Kyler Murray. I don't like him. I don't think he's I just don't. I think I don't know about him. I don't know about his commitment to playing football. I would stay away from him. I like Brissett much better. I do like Cousins. I would take a shot at him. You know, I like Malik Willis from the Packers, although a lot of people are going to be after him, apparently. You know, I mean, I guess any one of those guys I can live with. Even a guy like Mac Jones. I mean, I don't love Mac Jones, but I mean, even, you know, at least you know he's a professional quarterback. He can play in the league. We know that, you know, to be that stopgap until they finally get that quarterback, whether it's this year or, you know, probably next year when they got the 3 first-round draft choices.
I mean, the thing is, they would have to trade for so many of the guys that are being mentioned, like Mac Jones. Like, would you want to trade a 2nd-round pick for Mac Jones? Because that's probably what it's going to take to get him. I wouldn't.
No.
You got Brissett. I mean, even like Jameis Winston would be perfect, but all these guys signed 2-year deals a year ago.
No, I would take Jameis Winston in a heartbeat. Jameis Winston can play. I mean, you say whatever you want him. I know he throws a lot of picks, whatever. He's still relatively young, and Jameis Winston can play. I mean, I mean, he's a professional quarterback. I mean, I would be, in fact, of all the names we've just thrown out there, I would say the guy I would want the most is Jameis Winston, honestly.
I'm right there with you. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line before we get to some of the super chats.
By the way,
go ahead.
By the way, a couple things on the Patriots. I want to throw these numbers out to you. You know that they've been to more Super Bowls than anybody in history with 12.
12.
You know also that they are tied with Pittsburgh for the most wins in the Super Bowl with 6. They also now hold the record for the most Super Bowl losses with 6. And how about this too? They've never won a Super Bowl when Bill Belichick and Tom Brady weren't on the team. In 1985, it was Raymond Berry and the combination of Tony Eason and Steve Grogan when they got whacked by the 85 Bears. In 96, when Parcells was the coach, it was Bledsoe as the quarterback, and they lost to the Packers. And now you got, May and Vrabel. So I just thought that's interesting, just a stat to kind of throw out there.
I love that stat. Big fan of that. There's no doubt. And Brady, by the way, he still has 7 rings, so he has more than any other franchise all time, if you consider that as well.
True. That is true.
Now, I take you back, Joe, to the moment we all found out when you were on the show that Bad Bunny was going to be doing the halftime.
What is this? Who is this guy, Bad freaking Bunny? What is that?
Well, did you learn who Mr. Bunny is now after watching the halftime show?
I mean, obviously, I know who he is now. I did not. I will be full disclosure. I did not watch a second of the halftime show. I was very disappointed. I switched over to Fox News. I wanted to see my guy, Mark Levin. They did not have him on last night with this ongoing coverage of Savannah Guthrie's mother and, the terrible situation with that kidnapping or whatever. God knows what the story is there. We don't know. It just seems like it's just never ending, but whatever. So Fox News was covering that. But I was fortunate as I was bouncing around the dials. I happened to, and I didn't know where it was going to be, but I happened to come up with the alternative halftime show from Turning Point USA with Kid Rock and a number of country music people who I really didn't know who they were. But nevertheless, it was real music, and it was all in English. And, there was a terrific rendition of the national anthem. I forget who the guitarist is that did it, all on his guitar. Kind of a la Jimi Hendrix back in 1970 or so when he did the same thing. It was great. And so that's what I did. I didn't watch a second of Bad Bunny. Not a freaking second.
No Bad Bunny for Joe B. No Bad Bunny at all.
Nope.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. I'm back from San Fran. We gave out our 5 raffle prizes during Friday's show, so we're back this week. Our raffles will be moved to Fridays in the offseason.
They actually let you go to California, bro?
They did. I was there. San Fran, by the way, Joe, it gets a bad rap. It was, at least from what I saw, it was an awesome city. The weather was beautiful out there. And then traveling back on Saturday, going from 60 degrees and sunny every day to -10 wind chill. That was one of the more brutal travel days I've ever experienced.
Oh, please. The weather here has just been an out disgrace, bro. Hey, look, it was a lot worse down in the South. I mean, I got a daughter that lives in Alabama. She had some bad weather down there. Fortunately, she never lost power. I also have a relative that goes to Ole Miss, and Oxford, Mississippi got killed.
Yep.
She had to leave town because they had no electricity for how long? I guess they're back and rolling again now, but it was a really scary situation down there. We got a lot of snow, but that's it. And by the way, nice job by Mandami cleaning the snow up in Manhattan. That's good work, man.
I was waiting for something about
nice
that.
work there, Zohan, however you say his name.
Nick Mangold signed jersey, Darrelle Revis signed helmet, and a signed jersey by each member of the New York Sack Exchange are the top 3 prizes starting the offseason with a bang for those 3. So gift a membership or send in a $10 super chat or higher to buy raffle entries. This first one is from Dan the Jet fan, who says, I'm dying to know both Jake and Joe's favorite commercial last night. Weird to say, I now have a picture with a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Sam Darnold. I thought the prostate awareness commercial was great with Bruce Arians and all the tight ends. I thought that was really funny. Nice play on words with that. I enjoyed that. And then the Dunkin' Donuts commercial was very good too.
I can't say I was locked in on all the commercials, but I did see the Dunkin' Donut one with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Aniston and, of course, Tom Brady with a stupid wig on his head. I did think that was pretty good. I wasn't locked into all the commercials. And of course, the Budweiser commercial as they tried to bounce back from the Dylan Mulvaney disaster, and very patriotic with the horse and the eagle and all of that. So that was very good, no doubt about it.
Doc writes in, the Jets hiring Gase ended Darnold's career in New York. I mean, who knows what could have been had they hired either Todd Monken at the time and the guy who really we all wanted them to hire, if I remember, Mike McCarthy interviewed, and they chose to go with Adam Gase instead.
And Mike McCarthy, now the head coach of the Steelers. That was a big mistake, bro. They should have hired McCarthy. He wanted the job. They should have gave him the job when he was here. And I don't know what the real story was there. I've heard now that really Peyton Manning was not an integral part of Gase being hired now. So we'll leave it at that. I don't want to get into the whole story of it, but that was that's another one of the major mistakes that I believe Chris Johnson was the one. I think Woody was in England at the time. Just a major mistake by the Jets not hiring Mike McCarthy.
And Chris Johnson had the infamous line at the Gase introductory presser that Adam Gase is coaching football to where it's going.
Yeah, well, the shit is doing.
Kyle Clifton in the raffle for 2 with his $10 super chat. Pats would have been better served by rolling long out Naomi Campbell rather than Will to protect May's blind side. Yeah, I mean, again, Will Campbell was brutal last night. The whole left side of their offensive line. They had 2 rookies there. Wilson, the guard, I think is the other guy.
They got killed. Yep. No doubt.
They were carved up, no doubt. Doc Jet fan.
I was very happy to see.
Yes. Doc Jet fan of the house. He's a long suffering.
What are you ka-chinging there? What is that?
You like the ka-ching?
Yeah, that's new. That's a new feature now of the Jake Asman show.
We got some drops. I could give you. You want a little applause for?
You got it all, bro. Jake, you got it all.
Performance by
Jake, you are just massively got it together, bro. You really do.
I appreciate you, Joe. You're the best. Watching yesterday's game, if you could win the line of scrimmage with 4 down linemen, it allows you to drop 7 in coverage and randomly blitz safeties from either side, and they're unblockable. Take home message draft Baines. I guess he's referring to Ruben Bain,
the kid from Miami. Yes.
Joe, it feels like, at least early on, the 3 guys they'll decide at 2 are David Bailey, who's the edge rusher from Texas Tech.
Yep.
A lot of people love him. Ruben Bain from Miami. And then the other name is Arvell Reese from Ohio State, who I know you watched a lot of Ohio State, so I'm curious your thoughts on him.
I like him. I like all of them. I'm big on all of them. I guess Reese is kind of a hybrid linebacker safety type guy.
He's kind of like Micah Parsons, how he could kind of like, he could play off ball, and then he could just, if they're going to go to a 3-4, I feel like Arvell Reese would make a lot of sense.
I'm good with any of those guys, bro. Any you get any of those guys, and I'm down. Let's go.
Josh English says, any chance the team loves Reese and the Jets are about it to trade back 5 to 9 picks, take Sonny Styles, and pick up a 3rd and possibly more? I'd love for them to move at it too. I just don't know who's moving up.
I wouldn't. No, I would not. All right, we got 2 first-round picks. Just leave them where they are and take them. That's it.
What if you can get extra picks though?
We got plenty of picks. Let's just take.
They don't have a 3rd rounder right now.
What?
They don't have a 3rd rounder right now.
They got 2 1s and 2 2s.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to. Let's trade back. How about we take the best defensive player on the damn board with the 2nd pick? How about that?
Who's that guy though? It's not like there's like an Abdul Carter or there's like a Will Anderson or there's Myles Garrett in this draft.
Okay, but who knows how good these guys are? We don't know that. Do we know that? I mean, I don't know.
I
don't know. How well know Reuben Baines is turned into, a combination of Deacon Jones and Reggie White. I don't know that.
He also could be Vernon Gholston for all we know.
Nobody knows. But everybody wants to trade back. Oh, we got to trade back. We need more picks, right? Come on. How about staying with what we got and taking the best possible guys we can get? How about that?
I just don't think anyone's coming up anyway, so it's going to be a moot point. It's not like there's quarterbacks in this draft that people are dying to have.
Right.
Bino says, Jacob, did you see Belichick's girl at the UNC game rocking a T-shirt of the Rub and Tug Kraft got caught at? I did. Did you see this show? Jordan Hudson was wearing a shirt of the.
I watched a lot of that game. I did not see them. I did not see Bill and his lovely girlfriend, Jennifer Hudson. Is that her name?
Jordan.
What?
Jordan is her first name.
Oh, Jordan. That's right. I said Jennifer was a singer. That's right. Jordan or Jordan. I think, first of all, let me say this, okay? I did not see that. I think she's overrated. I mean, I understand she's 24, but I mean, she's not exactly Sydney Sweeney, okay? I mean, I wouldn't put her in anywhere near that category. Livy Dunn, I wouldn't put her there. Alex Earl, I would not put her anywhere near those ladies. So she's nice looking. She's okay, but, she's not that great. Let's put it that way.
Well, it's funny because.
And here's the other thing that bothers me about her, okay? Bill has allowed this girl to run his life. It's one thing to be, nailing a 24-year-old girl. Okay, let's be honest. Let's tell it like it is. Okay, and I'm sure Bill is loading up on the, Cialis, Viagra, maybe the combination of the two. He's got to be using a lot of that stuff. But with that said, okay, let's be honest about it. All right, that's fine. If you're able to, have this young girl, great, good for you. The bottom line, though, to me is you cannot let this girl basically dictate your life. I mean, come on, because that's really what seems to be what's happening. And to me, I think Bill has lost a lot of credibility because of that. And I think that's one of the reasons, I think it's ridiculous that he didn't get in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, come on. But then again, the Hall of Fame, it's all politics. It's all nonsense anyway. We don't want to get started on it, no matter what the Hall of Fame is. But, so it's a joke he didn't get in the first ballot. It's a joke Kraft didn't get in on first ballot. But I think part of it is because he's lost a lot of credibility because of this woman. I really do.
Well, I mean, you have people like Bill Polian and Tony Dungy advocating for people not to vote for Bill. And Dungy was a coward and wouldn't even say whether or not he voted for Belichick or not, which tells you he didn't. It's just terrible. Well, the thing is with her wearing that shirt, it just shows you that Kraft, or at least Belichick, can't stand Robert Kraft, that his girlfriend is wearing that shirt, after this Hall of Fame stuff comes out, like directly ripping Robert Kraft on the eve of, the Pats playing in the Super Bowl.
It's petty. It's petty, bro. See, that's what I'm saying. Bill's lost a lot of credit. Why would you do that? You went to 9 Super Bowls with this guy as he's one of the best owners in football, if not the best. He's right up there. He had the foresight to get rid of Gerard Mayo when he saw that there was an opportunity to get a guy like Vrabel. He didn't hesitate. This is the reason that he's now he's been the owner. I guess was he the owner for the Parcells Super Bowl? I'm not sure if he was.
He was, but, yeah.
So he
didn't hire Parcells though. The old owner hired Parcells, but he was the owner when they went to that Super Bowl.
Robert Ortwine was the old owner. So that's 11 Super Bowls that he's been the owner for, and there's something to be said for that. Like I said, I think Belichick's really lost his cookies. And I think part of it is this woman. I think she's just got too much control over what Bill does. And that's very sad, to be honest with you.
Mad Team parent in the raffle for 2 here. Happy for Sam and Jason Myers, who I really never understood why the Jets let go. But the draft defenders who tackle, Hawks have tacklers, where the Jets do not. I mean, Seattle's defense is flying around. They also have one of the best coaches in the sport. I mean, McDonald is an unbelievable like we talk about the offensive geniuses. There's very few of the defensive geniuses. He and D'Amico Ryans, I think, are the top 2 in the league. You saw that last night. Their game plan was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yep. And again, I mean, I think that the Patriots are a little overrated. I mean, I understand they got there. Drake May's a nice quarterback. To me, he's he's nowhere in the stratosphere of Matthew Stafford. Okay, he's not, he's not there. He's not Matthew Stafford. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Joe Burrow. He's not even Sam Darnold. He's not in that category as a quarterback. Okay, let's be honest about it. Okay, they got by with a very good coach. They kind of caught a lot of lightning in a bottle this year. They had a very good defensive football team. They benefited from a not the greatest schedule in the world. I think that all contributed to it. So it's gonna be curious to see how good New England is next year. It's gonna be very good, very interesting to see if they can kind of repeat the success that they had this year next year. It'd be interesting to see.
Their schedule won't be as big of a joke as it was this year. That's for sure.
Right. That's right. No question about it.
Mad Max gifting the community a membership. Max, thank you. You're in the raffle for one. Kyle Clifton says it's one thing to be nailing 24-year-old girls. It's one great thing.
Well, like I said, if you can do it and you're the age that I am, or Bill's I think a year older than me, that's great. But how about having a higher quality woman from 24-year-old? Do you understand what I mean? Because this girl's a gold digger. She even has, I think her business is Gold Digger Inc. or something, isn't it? Something like that.
She's playing off the people that call her a gold digger. Exactly.
Right. Well, of course. I mean, but that's what she is. Do you think she's with Bill Belichick if not for him being Bill Belichick? Come on.
He's got a great personality, Joe. I mean, he has a way with words.
He's got a better I know Bill a little bit, or knew him. He doesn't have anything to do with me now because I'm too much of a jet guy. But having dealt with him a little bit in person, he's got he's a lot more going for him personality-wise than he wants to project to the public.
You've told this story on the air before, but I get new listeners all the time. Can you share the story of when Bill called you after the Jets won the division in '98?
Never forget it. First of all, just to back the story up, when I was doing the overnight for all those years at WFAN, apparently when Belichick was an assistant with Parcells in New England, he used to listen to me going to work all the time. We were 50,000 watts. We were all over. You could hear us in Nova Scotia. He used to be able to hear us, especially the overnight. So he used to listen to me all the time. And, word came down that Bill wanted to meet me, right? This is when he was with the Jets as defensive coordinator with the Jets. So, I went out to Hofstra, spent some time with him. I remember going out there one time with Belichick and actually watching some game film with him, if you can believe that. And, there was no love lost, by the way, between him and Parcells. It was strictly a business relationship, okay? They were never best buddies or anything like that. But anyway, so what happened was when the Jets won the division, 1998, when they beat the Buffalo Bills, it was Saturday afternoon. They beat Buffalo in Buffalo to clinch the first division title they ever had since the merger. And they only got one more since, which is mind-boggling when you think about it. But game ends, and one of the kids downstairs says, some guy named Bears is on the phone for you. And, of course, Bears Nigerian, who was Bill Belichick's personal assistant, and then he went on to be that for all those years in New England. And here's Bears. Bears says, Joe, somebody wants to talk to you. And here's Belichick on the line to me, congratulating me. How do you feel after we won the division title? And just to back up that story a little more, I wind up about, I guess it was the week before, because they had the bye. Remember, they had the bye back then. The first two teams got byes. They were the second seed
before the Jaguars playoff game. Yep.
Right. The off week, I get a call from Bears that Belichick wants me to go out to dinner with them, and I wound up going out to dinner. It's a true story. What's the big steakhouse? What the hell is the name?
Peter Luger's.
Peter Luger. Right. That's exactly right. So I went to dinner one night before doing my overnight show with Bill Belichick, Mike Tannenbaum, Bears Nigerian, and the late, great Dave Jennings, who was a good friend of mine. And at that dinner, right, they handed me 4 tickets for the playoff game for the Jaguars. How about that, bro?
Amazing.
That's amazing. That is a true story. So, I mean, I mind-boggling when you think of it. It really is.
Amazing. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. This one is from Yair Rivero says, how about the rumblings of Derek Carr coming back? I don't know if you saw this report from yesterday.
No.
Derek Carr would come out of retirement for the, quote, right situation. Would you have any interest?
No, I think, I don't know. He's been hurt a lot. I mean, how long since he's played, bro? 2 years?
Well, he missed a lot of his last year, but he was in the league, in 2024. So he didn't play this year.
Right. Not great interest, no.
Yeah, I agree with you. NYJ writes in, thoughts on Adam Sandler wearing a hat with a Patriots logo on it. Should he be blackballed along with Al Capone? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to defend Adam Sandler.
Where is Sandler from? New York? Where's he from?
Sandler's a Jet fan. He's made that known. He's a Jet fan. He's been on the field before games over the years. There's so many photos of him wearing Jets gear. This hat is not a Patriots hat. It is a Super Bowl hat. The Seahawks logo is on the other side of the hat.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to defend Adam Sandler, who apparently is sitting next to Roger Federer. If you look at that name card right there and whatever suite they're in at this game last night, he's not wearing a Pats hat. It is a Super Bowl LX hat with both teams' logos featured. But Tirico did him dirty on the broadcast, said, there's Adam Sandler, as usual, always supporting his Patriots, making it sound like he's been a lifelong Pats fan.
I don't know enough about the situation with Adam Sandler. I do know about those hats, though. I know that they do. Here's what I would have done if I'm Adam Sandler. I would have not gotten the hat. Go out and get one. I know they have those little footballs like that, too, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of similar, where they got the two teams that are in the Super Bowl on it with the Super Bowl logo. I actually, from the couple Super Bowls, I was so fortunate to go to both the giant Patriots Super Bowls. Lucky me, because I had to work them. So I do have. I also was at at Radio Row for the Seattle Patriots Super Bowl in Arizona. So I have, I didn't, even though I didn't go to the game, I have one of those too. So I wouldn't get a hat though. I would not have any hat that would have anything to do with the New England Patriots on it or any team that is not mine. Let's put it that way.
I have the same rule. Here's some more photos of Sandler. This is him and Sanchez before the Jets playoff game in San Diego. You guys were at that game, yeah?
I was there. He didn't come up and hug me, Sam.
That might be my favorite show you and Evan ever did together in the old midday pairing. After the Jets won that game,
so you talking about the show after we beat the Chargers?
Yes, after you beat the Chargers.
Bro, you talk about delirium. I mean, that was delirium.
That's the best. But I need to pick me up. I listen to that every once in a while.
I was so pumped up after. I mean, you can't forget about it.
Here's Sandler with Joe Namath before a game.
Okay.
And then here's Sandler and another Jet fan, Ray Romano. So Adam Sandler's the Jet fan. This hat just did him dirty because it's a double logo hat here.
Yeah. Yep. Well, he shouldn't have wore it to begin with.
I agree. It's on him. Couple super chats here. Last chance to get your comment read to Joe Ozzy says Jets should draft all defense, change the culture on the defensive side of the ball. But haven't we done this? They still need another receiver. They could use another guard, potentially what happens with AVT and John Simpson here. Like, it's an offensive league. Like, good coaching, it'll fix the defense. Aaron Glenn making $12 million a year.
Okay, so you say it's an offensive league, but what did we see last night, bro? We saw a great defense shut down. One of the better offenses, really, even though I think they were overrated. They were one of the top scoring offenses in the NFL.
Yeah, but look at the NFC Championship game. That game was in the 30s. That was Darnold and Stafford.
Okay, that was a lot better team. Because the Rams are a much better team. Oh, come on, the Rams are a much better team than the Patriots.
Oh, for sure. I'm just saying, we've seen the Jets do the all defense, and it's like if you don't have the offensive firepower, you're still not going to win.
You still have to have a quarterback. There's no question about it. But we have seen. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, we saw it last year. The Eagles dominate. The Eagles just destroyed Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Their defense. At the end of the day. Yes, it's an offensive league. There's no question about it. But you win with defense. Go back to even Brady's Tampa Bay team when they won the Super Bowl in 2020 and beat the Chiefs. The defense won that game. Brady wasn't phenomenal in that game. Their defense won the game. They shut down Patrick Mahomes. You still look the offense. My feeling on the Jet offense. Sure, they need a quarterback, but look, they got Garrett Wilson. This kid Mitchell looks like he got something. You re-signed Breece Hall. You got a top running back with him. Your offensive line is pretty much set outside of maybe one position, So I don't think the offense is that far away.
I agree.
The defense is not a professional defense.
But they need
not a professional defense.
They have $100 million in cap to sign a couple safeties and sign some linebackers. Like you could do both. I just think if there's a dynamic wide receiver there, as much as
the kid, I'll say this: if the other kid from Ohio State, Smith, what's his name? Jeremiah Smith.
He's next year. You're thinking of Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson from Arizona State.
I'm thinking of the other guy. Carnell Tate's coming out. I'm talking about the kid that's not coming out.
So you're talking about next year taking a receiver?
He was the better receiver.
Yes.
Just like I always look, when Ohio State had Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Jackson Smith and Digba, I always felt, and I said it, that Smith and Digba was the best of the three. Okay? All right? I mean, best of the three. And that's the guy. I watch a lot of college football. He was better than Wilson. He's better than Olave. And he is better than Wilson. And he is better than Olave. And you see it now. And as I've said, when I played golf, back a couple of years ago with Robert Sala, right? My wife and I played golf with him. And I was talking to him about that. I said, you drafted Will McDonald, because this was after the draft. You drafted Will McDonald instead of Jackson Smith and Digba. And Sala said, he's really not that good. Well, I don't know if Sala's thinking that anymore. Okay? I don't know about that. But he's the best receiver in the NFL now. I mean, come on. In all due respect to Puka Nacua, I mean, this guy was the offensive player of the year. So,
I agree with you. You're making my point for me, though.
The Giants take Tate. I would not take him. Certainly not with the second pick. I'm not taking him.
Look at Mekhi Lemon. His comp is JSN, to your point. The guy from USC.
Right.
So, I think receivers still a need for them. But, yeah, of course, they need to address defense. But I think they're going to do a lot of that in free agency. I think that's where you could, look at the Pats. They completely rebuilt their defense in a year with 5 guys in free agency.
Second pick in the draft has to be the best defensive player on the board.
I agree.
They think that is.
Some super chats here. Macho Sports Talk says, bittersweet Super Bowl. Bitter the Pats made it, but sweet they got their asses kicked. Those frauds, go Jets. It was nice to see New England just get destroyed. It really was.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the last thing we needed was another Patriots Super Bowl championship. I mean, come on. And like I said, feel good. They've lost more Super Bowls than anybody. So if that makes you feel better, they were tied with the Broncos, who had lost 5. So now they've lost more than anybody.
Bo C in the house. Nothing but love for you, Big Joe, but I'm never telling anybody had anything to do with Belichick. Great story, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is well before, remember, this is before he was the coach of the Patriots now, And, after he became the coach of the Patriots, we still had a little bit of a relationship. We actually did a show, I guess it was the 2004 season, was the year the Jets, they both started off 5-0, if you remember. And I went to the game. I'll never forget, I actually went to the World Series game the night before, game 1 of the World Series with my former great producer, Sugar Ray Martell. We went to game 1 of the World Series with the Cardinals and the Red Sox. So we were at Fenway on Saturday night. And then Sunday, we were at the Jet-Patriot game. And even though we lost the game, we did our overnight show from the press box at Foxborough, Gillette Stadium. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, because I was on till 5:30 in those days in the overnight, Belichick actually came on with me. So, even as he went into being a coach of the Patriots, we still have a little bit of a relationship. But as time went on and his hatred for the Jets grew, he's not going to talk to me. I tried to get in touch with him many times. We tried to get him on my show when I was retiring from full-time at WFAN. They refused to come on. So, and I think that has to do with like I said, the fact that he just hates the Jets so much.
Have you ever figured out why he hates the Jets as much as he does? Is it all stemming from Spygate? Is that the thing that put it over the top?
No, I think it goes back to when he was there. And I think Bill Parcells set him up. That whole thing, when Parcells came out and said that he was leaving and that Belichick was going to be his successor, Belichick didn't want that. And I think Parcells put him in a bad spot, right? I think that was the beginning of it. And I think he didn't want any part of Woody Johnson. I think he was very he saw the forest for the trees. I think if Leon Hess was younger and had stayed as the owner of the team and didn't pass away like he did, I think maybe Belichick would have stayed with the Jets. Once Leon Hess was gone and Woody Johnson got in the picture, that was the end of it. And I think all of that has kind of contributed to his hatred for the Jets.
Doc418 says, Joe, did you watch the Waste Management Phoenix Open? And what did you think of Scheffler's round?
Well, first of all, I watched a lot of the Phoenix Open. I'm totally into the golf now. It's the golf season again. Look, Scheffler lost the tournament because he shot a 73 in the first round. That was it. He was 2 over par to start the tournament, and then he made the cut on Friday, and he was great after that. He made a great run yesterday, but he was just a little bit too far behind. Look, Scheffler's the best golfer in the world. The top 3 golfers in the world is Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and Bryson DeChambeau. To me, those are the best 3 golfers in the world. It would be nice if we get DeChambeau back to the PGA Tour. Brooks Koepka's back. It'd be nice to see DeChambeau come back. But the bottom line yesterday was Hideki Matsuyama choked. He had that tournament won. He goes into the last hole needing only to par it to win, and he winds up bogey in the last hole, and then he loses the playoff to Chris Gotterup, who, by the way, is now won twice this year. He won in Hawaii at the Sony Open, and he wins yesterday. Watch out for this guy. Guy's from New Jersey as well. Watch out for Gotterup, but Matsuyama blew it yesterday. He could not. His driver killed him. He was not in the fairway at all, and he had a bad drive on the 18th hole. He hit the ball into the what do they call it? The church pew bunkers, and that really killed him yesterday. But Scheffler's great. There's no doubt. I mean, look, he's right now by far the best golfer in the world, and don't be surprised if he wins a couple more majors this year. He only needs to win. All he needs to win now is the PGA for him to win the Grand Slam of golf. So, which would be unbelievable at his age. He's won 20 tournaments in 4 years. Think about that. That's mind-boggling. So, Scheffler's great, but he lost the tournament in day one when he shot a 73. That kind of put him behind the 8 ball, and he really was never able to get over the hump as well as he played after that.
A couple quick hitters for you on the way out of here, Joe. Big win for the Knicks yesterday. What's your level of confidence in them now? They don't make any major trades for Giannis or any of that.
Yeah, they got Jose Alvarado. He had a great game yesterday.
Yep.
In his Knicks debut, he was terrific. He had 12 points off the bench. He had they had a big steal of Jaylen Brown that led to an easy layup. I thought he really played well. Look, here's the bottom line on the Knicks. We saw them lose 9 of 11, and now they bounced back and won 9 out of 10. They're very good. I think they're a better team than last year, a lot deeper than last year. They got their bench play. You got guys like even this Diawara, right, who they drafted in the second round. He's really become a solid player off the bench for them. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson, to me, is the poor man's Dennis Rodman, the way he plays. And they're using him right by not playing him on back-to-backs because the issue with Mitch has been getting hurt all the time in his career.
He's their second most important player behind Brunson, you could argue. That's how valuable he is.
You could make that argument. I think it's probably OG Anunoby. Josh Hart's right there too. But they're a deep team, man. They got and now you're bringing a guy like Alvarado off the bench. Landry Shamit's been terrific for them off the bench. Even Kolek is giving them something off the bench. Looks like McBride's going to be out the rest of the regular season. But they're a very good team. I think the team they're going to have to beat is Detroit. They got whacked on Friday night in Detroit by the Pistons. I know Carl Towns didn't play and Anunoby didn't play in that game. Still, they got killed by Detroit. That's the team they're going to probably have to get through in the Eastern Conference. But the Knicks are very, very good. The bottom line on the Knicks is, are they good enough? That's the bottom line.
The super chat ties in perfectly with what I was going to ask you about next. Hey, Joe, you have a bad case of SDS, that's Stearns derangement syndrome. Have you calmed down a little bit on David Stearns after some of the moves the Mets have made?
No, there's only 2 people in this world who I can't stand more than David Stearns. Neither of them have anything to do with sports. Both of them are women, by the way, but I'm not going to get into who they are. Okay, they're the only two people I can't stand more. And you can try to guess all you want about who they are, but I'm not going to say who they are. But I can't stand David Stearns, and here's the reason. And he's recovered nicely. I like the signing of Bo Bichette, the Luis Robert trade. They really gave up nothing to get him. We know at least one thing about him. He's a professional center fielder. I like the trade to bring in the pitcher. Peralta, like him, no doubt about it. Good with that. So he's made some nice moves. I will never forgive him for letting Pete Alonso go. I will never forgive him for letting Edwin Diaz go. These were major mistakes made by Stearns. And the other thing with Stearns too is this. He's the typical modern day, complete geek, okay? It's all about analytics. It's all about WAR. It's all about OPS. It's all about spin rate. It's all about that garbage, okay? It's all about exit velo. He's the typical geeky modern day. Of course, he went to the Ivy League, went to Harvard, as most of these young, GMs that we have in baseball have now, okay? They think they're smarter than you are. They think they're the smartest guy in the room. And that's my problem. Go out and win now. Go out and win with Devin Williams as your closer. What a mistake. That to me, look, Pete Goen, of course, terrible, brutal. I love Pete. He's an all-time Met and all of that. But how do you sit there, okay, David Stearns, the little genius, as I like to call him, how do you sit there and sell us run prevention when you, A, let the best closer in baseball walk for $3 million, by the way, B, your first baseman has never played first base in his life, I think one game, your third baseman has never played third base, ever, and who's playing left field? Is the kid Carson Bench going to be the left fielder? Is Brett Beatty going to be the left fielder? The nonsense about run prevention was all said and done for one reason and one reason only, to try to sell the fan base on letting Alonso go. That's really it. That's it. So I will never forgive Stearns. Go win. Let me see him win, bro. This guy's won nothing, okay? He didn't win anything in Milwaukee. He hasn't won anything with the Mets so far. Let me see him go out and win. They got a pretty good team. It's going to be a tough division. They got Philly there. They got the Braves there. Even the Marlins are an improved team. I still don't know how you're beating the Dodgers, but we'll see. We'll see.
Joe, great to get you back on a Monday. Felt like old times. I'm sure we'll do it again as the Jets start to make some moves next month in free agency, and we'll be a lot closer to the draft, and we'll have a better idea on what the Jets could do. But great to get you on. Sam Darnold's a Super Bowl champion, and maybe one day the Jets will be playing in that game once again.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always quote the late great Martin Luther King. The night before he was murdered, he had a great speech. I think he was in Memphis. He had a tremendous speech when he did it that night, and he basically talks about getting to the mountaintop. Okay, and he says to the people, he kind of had foresight, kind of realized that he might not be around too much longer, and he said to the people, he said, I might not get there with you, okay? And that's how I feel. I'm nowhere near my Martin Luther King by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not in that league by any stretch. But that's kind of how I feel. Yeah, maybe someday the Jets will get to the mountaintop, and maybe a guy like Jake Asman will be there, and a lot of the people that you listen to will. But I doubt that I'm getting there with you, bro.
We'll find a way, Joe. We'll find a way. You'll be there. We'll make it happen.
Now, I might be there in spirit along. That's it.
Joe, all the love. Everyone go listen to the Paint. When's the episode dropping today?
I haven't done it yet. I was supposed to go on with my good buddy Sid Rosenberg this morning, but I guess time constraints didn't allow that to happen. So that kind of derailed me from doing the podcast. So after I get done with you, I will be doing the podcast.
There you go. Check it out later today. Joe, enjoy. Appreciate you joining as always.
You got it, Jake. God bless. Be well.
What is this? Who is this guy? Bad freaking Bunny. What is that?
We all learned who Bad Freaking Bunny is. Appreciate Joe for joining us. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line at the like button. If you're just tuning in, make sure you go over here right now and hit the subscribe button. We are approaching 45,000 subscribers right now. We are sitting at 43,949. So next stop is 44. Then we get to 45 as we keep climbing. I appreciate everyone in this community for making it possible to do this. 1 week from today, or actually, no, 2 weeks from today, I have my dates all wrong. I will be flying out to the NFL Scouting Combine for the third straight year. We'll do our show live from Indy, so be on the lookout for that. Again, for those tuning in late, we have a new set of raffle prizes, signed jersey by each member of the Sack Exchange, signed Darrelle Revis helmet, and a signed jersey with a Ring of Honor inscription on it by the late, great Nick mangled. So if you want in, that's how you get in. And again, as we sit here and start the offseason officially for now all 32 teams, Jets currently have the worst odds of winning the Super Bowl next year. So they got a lot of work that needs to be done. The first order of business for the Jets is to finish this coaching staff, finalize everything. You want your coaches in place by the time you hit Indianapolis, by the time you go to the scouting combine, by the time you start talking with prospects and interviewing them. You want your coaching staff in place. Right now, we know the Jets have hired some members of the coaching staff. Most notably, they have a DC and they have an OC in place. But they need to obviously hire a quarterback coach, for example. They need to finish hiring a lot of coaches in their secondary for the defensive side of things. But the latest hire that came out was yesterday, Seth Ryan being hired. And look, I like the fact that besides the fact his last name is Ryan, and it's a great story that 3 generations of Ryans are going to be coaches for the Jets. I like the fact that Seth is a younger guy that was with Ben Johnson and hopefully learned a lot and could provide maybe some fresh ideas for Frank Reich, who I think Frank Reich, for what the options were, was the best they could do. I don't hate that hire. I like it better than Darrell Bevel. I like it a lot better, certainly, than Greg Roman. But now it's important to see who Reich surrounds himself with. And I like the idea of bringing in a guy who's a young up-and-coming coach. I hope that Seth wears the same outfit on the sideline that Rex would wear. My Halloween costume, a.k.a. And we'll see what they do. I think the next big hire is a quarterback coach. They got to get someone. Now, Reich's going to do a lot of that. He's a former quarterback. But you want to build an infrastructure to develop a quarterback. And look, I don't think they're going to take a quarterback in round 1. I'd be surprised. But I think they're going to take a quarterback on day 2. If I was betting right now, Jets have 4 picks in the top 44. I could see one of them being a quarterback, especially pick 33 or pick 44. Maybe they even love someone and they got to move into the end of round 1 to get him. But they're going to take someone. Incel Allen's being positive. The Jets land Cousins. Playoffs are possible. I'm not going that far yet, man. This team won 3 games last year. They got a long way to go. They retained this head coach who right now is coach 32 of 32 to prove it otherwise. So he's got a lot to prove. But hey, who would have thought Sam Darnold would be a Super Bowl champion? So who knows? Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in here. I posted the call-in link. If you want in on the conversation, we'll get to your calls. Of course, we have a new set of raffle prizes for people. And we've had quite the show this morning with Joe B, a big fellow with a great super chat here. Joe ran the gauntlet from a rub and tug t-shirt to MLK, LOL. What a great day seeing former Jets deny the Pats a Super Bowl. Most Super Bowl L's in NFL history. So, 1, Joe was great today. I mean, he was classic Benigno. 2, as far as seeing former Jets win a Super Bowl, I mean, I have no issues with Sam, obviously. I've rooted for him every step of the way. Happy for Jason Myers and Leonard Williams. I have no ill will towards either of those guys. So cool to see that for sure. Seeing New England get their asses kicked was awesome. As far as the most Super Bowl L's ever, they won 6 though, So while there's pain in losing that many times, they won 6. It's not like it's much worse to be the Bills who lost 4 but don't have any to show for it, right? They went 4 years in a row, lost each year. No one's ever went to 4 straight. Not the Chiefs, not the Pats. No one's ever went to 4 straight. Not the Niners dynasty of the 80s or the Cowboys of the 90s. The Bills went to 4 straight and lost all 4. That's worse. But yeah, it's nice that New England's lost the most ever. But when you knock on the door that many times, it's close. Think about how many could have went their way that didn't, right? Like the Malcolm Butler game was insane. But also, David Tyree doesn't have a helmet catch. They lose that one. Or they win that one, excuse me. So these things kind of all even out. And the bottom line is that with Brady, they were what in Super Bowls? He won 6 in New England, and he was 6-3 in Super Bowls. A.K.A. Belichick was 6-3 in Super Bowls because the one they went to at Parcells was Bledsoe as the quarterback, and the one in the 80s was against the 85 Bears. Tony Eason was the QB then. But now Mike Vrabel and Drake May are 0-1 together in Super Bowls. But they're going to be good again next year. They're ahead of schedule. That's what we have to acknowledge. Like, here's the thing. It's fun to, watch New England get their ass kicked. But they're a good team. They're ahead of schedule. I said this 2 weeks ago. The Pats were a good but not a great team that benefited from the easiest path any of us have ever seen. They played a backup quarterback in the AFC title game. They played C.J. Stroud in the divisional round. He just threw another interception as I'm talking. Crazy. Mike D's nuts in the house. Thank God Jamal didn't get one. Yeah, he's on the Raiders. Or at least he was. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Again, new prizes. Nick Mangold, signed jersey, prize 1. Revis, signed helmet, prize 2. Sack Exchange, signed jersey, prize 3. We only have one gifted membership on the stream so far, so I'm going to gift one right now. And if you get one from me, we will put you in the weekly raffle, which we are targeting Fridays now in the off seasons, little football Friday themed raffles on the show going forward in off season mode now. One gifted membership from yours truly has been purchased. And listener Lawrence Toppin is the recipient of the membership.
We are mama way.
Comments, questions, super chats. Curious, what was your guys' favorite interview that we did in San Fran? We had a lot of them. We had 4 current Jets on, including Tyrod Taylor, Harrison Phillips, and A.D. Mitchell. We had Gary V on, who's a Jet super fan. We had Christopher Mad Dog Russo, Connor Rogers, Joe Caporoso, Brian Costello, for people that cover the Jets from a media perspective. We had some fun ones that just popped up, like Joey Molinaro, for example, the comedian. A lot of fun. Big thanks to everyone who tuned in all week long. Let's get to some calls, shall we? First up today on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is a man flailing his arms like this over and over again.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Hello, Jake.
Hey, Bob. How are you feeling? We know that you're obviously we're dealing with the toe situation again.
I get it taken off today.
You're going to be released from the hospital?
Today. No, I got to take it off today.
They're amputating your toe?
Surgery. Yeah, like Nick Shine's toe.
Oh, my goodness,
Me and him are going to
Bobby.
be 9 brothers. 9-toe brother, yeah. Dr. Lacani's doing the surgery.
What is the issue with your toe that they need to do this?
It's bad in there, he said. So, gotta go. He said, gotta go.
Which toe is this?
Yeah. You have to, the left toe, like Nick Shine shit. So,
is it your big toe, pinky toe?
We gotta be like it's the big toe.
Oh, no.
Big toe, like Nick Shine. Yeah, Nick Shine's toe. It has to go.
You and Nick Shine are toe bros?
Yeah, toe bros, 9-toe bros, yeah. And I liked, you were lucky talking to the Mad Dog. I love that guy.
He's the best.
You were lucky. I wanted to talk to him, but you weren't live. I need a shave, man, do I?
You need a shave, but I think you got other problems besides
How was
that.
your trip to California?
How are you segueing to asking me about my trip?
Okay. Well, we care about you. I care about you.
I care about you, Bob. I want your toe to get better here, or whatever they're doing to make sure that you're okay.
Well, it's going to look like Nick Shine's show. So it's going away. So, yeah, how was your trip to California?
It was a great trip. It was very successful. Great interviews. Great times.
You didn't get to stay for the Super Bowl down there?
I never want to stay for the Super Bowl.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. That was your choice. Okay.
I leave. Yeah, I have no
interest.
It's
freezing here. It's cold here in Vermont. Stinks. I hate this water. It's stinky. Stink. So, yep, it's good. So, about in the afternoon, I'm going to get it off.
What's wrong with your eye, Bobby? What's happening with that thing?
They got to give me some eye drops.
Yes.
Time for eye drops, yeah. I asked them for eye drops. So.
Are you sacrificing your toes so the Jets can win a Super Bowl?
No. It has to get done. That's what Dr. Lacani says. You know him, right?
Oh, of course.
Dr. Lacani, that's your brother and his brother went to school together.
Common Country says the lack of showering is coming back to bite you, Bob.
Hey, will you shut up? I took a shower yesterday. Country, whatever your name is. Mind your own business.
So once the toe,
mouth?
So once they do this procedure, will you be able to move and groove a lot better now?
Oh yeah. I'll be like Nick Shine, been moving and grooving, yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope that
Shine's very fleet of foot.
Lacani doesn't give me that shoe. I hope
he stands 9 toes down.
He doesn't give me that shoe. I know I don't want that shoe. I hope he does not give me that shoe. He gave me the last time. Or else I throw it at him.
What do you do with the toe, by the way?
Shoe right at him. I tell you. No, I don't think so. I think they throw it in the garbage. I think. Nah. Why do you want to keep a toe for?
Wear it as a necklace.
Huh? Wear it as a necklace? No, that's crazy, Jake.
I'm just trying to be innovative.
All right, so you got more callers. Yeah, you are innovative.
I do.
That's good.
I'll tell you what, Bobby. I've taken a lot of calls from you. This one right here will go down as one of the more memorable ones.
Yeah. Well, we have memorable ones in the past. Like the one you played that video and then got mad at you last year, remember?
Oh, that happens all the time, though.
New Year's Eve. Yeah, why memorable?
Well, I'll tell you what, Bob. We're all pulling for you.
Why
you keep it. All right, you're speedy recovery, and you're going to be running the 40-yard dash by the time I get to Indianapolis.
That's a good one, Jake. You have a good day.
You too, Bob.
Bye, everybody. Love you.
Hang in there.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
I've taken a lot of calls from Robert Woodruff. That right there will be one I will never forget. He calls in to announce that he's having his toe amputated. And then tried to segue to, how was your trip in San Fran? God bless you, Bob. We love you. Hopefully you have a speedy recovery. I know you will. And you'll be A-okay. You and Nick Shine are toe bros now. We love it. My Holy King, Bobby will be back stronger than ever. Eddie writes in, God bless you, Bobby. Ozzy, Bobby, have a safe one. Boomtown, hang in there, Bobby. Long road ahead, but we have your back. Absolutely. Gator writes in, prayers to you, Bobby, for a healthy and safe operation. Be good, man. Hang in there, Bob. Hang in there. Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. Zach Rosenblatt giving us some Jets coaching news to react to. Ladies and gentlemen, a little breaking news on the show.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Zach Rosenblatt reporting that Thomas Merkel has been hired as an offensive assistant and Ronald Booker has been hired as a defensive assistant. Merkel was with Frank Reich at Stanford. Booker was a defensive quality control assistant for the Cardinals the last few years. So one's an obvious connection to Reich. I don't know where the defensive assistant connection is. He was recommended by someone, but here's the tweet from Zach. Merkel and Booker, Thomas Merkel, Ronald Booker added to the staff. So Dylan Terraman will update the spreadsheet of Jet coaches, but they have to essentially hire 10 coaches in total because Glenn fired 9 and 1 left for a lateral move. The tight ends coach left. So that is 10. You got to obviously fill out the staff. The Jets will probably have their staff finalized, I'd imagine, by the end of this week. Because when they go to Indy, you want to get a staff in place. You do. You want to have your full coaching staff for the most part in place. And the Jets right now, they obviously don't have a ton of that filled out. There's some guys they do have filled out, though, that we know. Chris Banjo, Kevin O'Dia, they're staying on special teams. They're keeping the strength and conditioning coordinator and Corey Smith. But, no Scott Turner, no Charles London, no Jeff Blasco, Dre Bly. These guys are all gone. Aaron Curry, Angstran, obviously Wilkes. So they got a lot of work to do, as we know. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. The big fella in the house. Did we ever get an update on the Asmaniac who had heart surgery? Prayers to Bobby. Prayers indeed to Bobby. As far as the Asmaniac who had heart surgery, we did get an update. It was successful. So that was Danny and his dad who had the heart surgery. Danny Bloom. So Danny Bloom Sr. had the heart surgery, and it was a massive success, we were told. So appreciate you asking about that, big fella, for those who missed it. Let's get to more calls, shall we? There's a question that is on everyone's mind right now, and I'm just going to cut right to it.
Can you hear me?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Good job.
Can you guys hear me? Obviously, Jake.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, man, let's talk about some news. So congratulations to Sam Darnold winning the Super Bowl yesterday. That was very good. I was actually very happy. I had a fun little Super Bowl party. Very lit day yesterday. We had a very fun day. And then really with Jets news, my birthday's actually coming up this week. 21 years old, Jake. February 12th in 4 days. We're having an amazing birthday celebration. So really Jets news today. I think Frank Reich could be a good offensive coordinator if he's very innovative, I think he could be a very good innovative offensive coordinator, honestly. What's your thoughts on that, Jake?
Can you hear me?
Oh man, as maniacs, we're gonna soon have a special guest on our show. If you guys want to see the special guest. Oh man.
Can you hear me?
Are any guests on the show, Bobby, tonight?
Can you hear me?
Oh man, my boy. What's up? I'm on the show already. Want to call in? This is Jake Asman. Can you hear my friend?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Good job.
What happened, bro? Nothing. Nothing happened. This is my boy on the phone. This is Alex Diego.
Yep. Good job.
Yo, Jake, can you hear were you able to hear my friend, honestly?
Can you hear me?
Yo, Jake, were you able to hear my friend?
Good job.
Oh, man.
Can you hear me?
Jake? Honestly, Jake, who do you think's better?
What did you have at your Super Bowl party? What was the food spread like?
The food spread? So I bought some late July chips. We had a big Super Bowl watch party. Were you able to hear my guest, Jake?
No.
Oh, this is my guest. My boy. He was at the dance party.
Can you hear me?
I was at the Super Bowl party.
Oh, it was very fun. I was with him. I was with the guests, and then I had it was like a very big dance party. We're a Christian-based Bible study club, so it was like we had like 3 TVs. I was with a couple of my boys. The guy Alex Diego, I was with. I was with 4 of his other roommates. Then we went bowling. Me and the boys for my early 21st birthday bowling celebration, Jake. We had we had Tarty, Tommy, my boy Tommy. We got Joey, the Hogmas Foley, and then we got what's that other guys? Jason, and then we had and my guest on.
Can you hear me?
Is Beast Breaker on the line?
Good job.
Can you get Beast on?
Can you hear me? Good job. Can you hear me?
Oh, man.
Good job. Can you hear me?
Oh, man.
Good job.
Let's see what do you think Asmaniac Nash is going to look like, Jake?
Can you hear me?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Good job.
Gary 3 Boxing. What's up with you today? What's up with you? How you doing today?
What up, Max? How was the game? You like the game?
Good job.
Good time? Yeah.
Oh man, what'd you say again, Mr. Gary? Just get my headphones on. What'd you say?
I said, how was the Super Bowl party?
So fun. Too much fun. How was your Super Bowl, Mr. Gary? How was your Super Bowl party?
Low key. It was low key.
What'd you do? What'd you do?
I just watched.
Where you with? You were with Diane. And were you with Alyssa as well?
Can you hear me?
Were you with your wife, Alyssa? I think I met. Oh, haven't I met your wife before at that? Wasn't your wife at that Asmaniac meetup event?
No, my wife hasn't been to any Asmaniac meetup event. Mr. Max.
Yeah, because I thought your wife Amanda was there.
No, Amanda's not my wife. That's not my wife.
Who's Amanda? Is Amanda Jake Asman's wife?
You gotta ask Jake Asman.
Can you hear me?
Oh man, because there was a girl. It was Amanda. Amanda was there, but Amanda was there, and then or
can you hear me?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Good job.
Oh, I'm just saying hello, Jim. I'm just saying Jim today, Mr. Gary.
Do you think Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide? Do you think he was killed, or do you think he's still alive? I think he's still alive.
I think he's still alive. I don't even know. I don't even know, Mr. Gary. Let's see if he's still alive. Let's see.
What do you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall?
Max, I'm glad you had fun at your Super Bowl party. All right, more of your calls right now. What a show this has been. As usual, we're starting the offseason off with a bang.
Now there's a gas station over here. I'm going to go get some pizza and see if they have any butter to put on it.
Hello, Jake. How are you?
Is that a new mic?
No.
Did you position it differently?
Maybe. I don't know. It's the new cover, like the microphone cover thing is new. It's exactly the same. But anywho, how was San Francisco, Jake?
It was great. I think San Fran gets a bad reputation. At least the areas we were in were awesome. But then people are like, oh, you weren't in this area. That's really bad. And I'm like, yeah, that's any big city. I live in Manhattan. Yeah. Like you go to any Miami, there's bad parts. Any city's got bad parts.
I've been only in San Francisco twice. But I was there about 2 years ago. I thought the same thing. It's like it's not that bad. It gets a bad route. Like I thought it's not that big of a city. It doesn't have a big city vibe like New York or Chicago. It's not really that big of a city. But yeah, I think
there are areas though where you feel like you're like in like a version of Manhattan though. Like it's the closest I felt to being in Manhattan in certain areas. But then also you could drive or scooter as we did to the Golden Gate Bridge area right on the beach, and you get views like this, which is awesome.
There you go. And it's not warm there, so dress warm. It is always cold, which was shocking. I went there once in the summer, and I thought it was going to be like, LA, like it was going to be like 80 degrees every day and sunny. It's not. It is chilly all the time in San Francisco. Keep that in mind if you're visiting there. But yeah, I like San Francisco.
You're saying you look like a broken man, Gary. Everything okay?
Is everything? Yeah, everything. Why? I look like a broken man?
I don't know. Gary looks like death today, says Gator.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Gary got that poison/winger vibes.
Oh yeah, I took my braids out. I'm getting my hair cut one of these days. I don't know. I gotta get my hair cut. I took the braids out.
Amanda, why is Gary down bad today?
I'm not down bad today. I'm doing good. I'm good vibe because of my hair. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, got to get that hair chopped. How often do you get your hair cut, Jake? How once a month?
Every 2 to 3 weeks, typically.
Every 2 to 3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Twice a year. Maybe once a year. That's it. We have hair like this, Jacob. You don't cut it. But I wanted to answer your question. The best interview you did this Super Bowl and every Super Bowl, because I think you talk to him every year pretty much, is Chris Russo. Chris Russo is the best. I think there are only 3 things in sports that are non-debatable. The best quarterback is Brady, the best closer is Rivera, and the best radio host is Chris Russo. There's no debate.
Yeah, he's just so funny and entertaining. Like and what's great about him that I've always loved, and I've interviewed him a lot over the years, and I do shows on Mad Dog Radio on Sirius, so I formed a relationship with him the last few years, especially through that. He is exactly the same way on air as he is off air, and that's what makes him like the best. Yeah. Like he's just so genuinely like that person all the time. It's not an act. Like that's just who he is. He's the best.
He's the only reason why I have Sirius. I've had Sirius for like 10 years now, and I think more than that. The only reason why I had Sirius was to listen to Chris Russo. When I was in New York for college and stuff, I used to listen to him every day for like, what was they on for 4 hours? Him and Mike, and like people would be like, because they was on the Yes Network too or something, right? They used to simulcast it on the Yes Network. I was watching Chris Russo like every moment of his show. Like I love Chris Russo. I don't even know what it is. He's just so real, and he loved cannoli. Every Monday morning, it's the garbage truck. This is good. Hang on.
You want to call back?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Gary. This offseason is off to a great start, huh? JB, the Alien Annihilator, wrote, and I stopped listening to calls during football season. I return, and Bobby Midnight aged a decade, and Gary looks like King Viserys in late season 2 of House of the Dragon. Oh, my God. That is a great reference. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary apparently is calm things down with Cannoli the dog. Is this true, Gary?
I'm trying to. Yeah. I got a lot going on. The garbage truck stirs up a lot. And it's like the percentage of times that you take my call when the garbage truck is there is like astronomical. It's like every Monday, I guess, and then you take my call exactly when the garbage truck is in front of my house and the dog is going crazy. The timing is impeccable. But I wanted to ask you this. We drafted Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is Super Bowl winning quarterback. Do we get credit for drafting him?
Mike McCagnon does. He was trying to take a victory lap when he spoke with Samini after the AFC Championship game. No, I mean, look, he obviously was on 4 other teams after the Jets, so you know.
But he's really good with Minnesota. The list of quarterbacks that have won 14 games 2 years in a row is like
him and Brady.
Brady, yeah, that's it. It's like it's crazy. He did it with 2 different teams. You can't even say that he was just riding the coattails of a great team. He did it with 2 different teams. It's crazy.
It's true.
Do you think it's something like? Why do you think he failed here? Because he was obviously talented I loved the pick when we took him. He was obviously talented when we took him. We took him above the other. I guess was he the first quarterback or no? It was Baker Mayfield was the first quarterback taken that year, right?
It was Baker, then Sam at 3. Saquon in between.
Okay. Why do you think it failed so bad here?
Coaching and lack of talent. I think his coaching was horrific. I mean, look at it. Look. Adam Gase hasn't gotten a job since being fired by the Jets.
I ain't gonna either.
He might be the passing game coordinator for the Chargers. Apparently, I don't know. I saw that.
Any job at all? Like he's unemployed. He has no job.
NFL. He hasn't had an NFL coaching job.
Oh, it was bad.
I think coaching in the roster was putrid. Again, Robbie Anderson was an okay player, right? Decent at times. That was his best weapon. They let him walk. They had nothing. You're throwing an aging Jamison Crowder, Jermaine Curse. He's like, they didn't have the players for him, man. The O-lines were terrible. If you gave Sam Darnold the current Jets roster right now, at least on offense, he'd fare so much better. Like, it's just, they failed him. They didn't put a team around him.
He had moments for sure. Like there were flashes where you were like, okay, Sam Darnold can be the guy. And then he went to Carolina. It was the same thing, but it was more bad than good. Like I like Darnold, but like, okay, I understood why they moved on. I wouldn't have moved on for Zach Wilson.
He didn't play well either. And it's not all just the Jets. Obviously, he was going through growing pains. He was a turnover machine. But I think they broke him. I think that last year broke him. He had no confidence. I think he's talked about how, like, when he left the Jets and then didn't work in Carolina, he started to question himself. Am I just always going to be a backup now? Am I ever going to get another opportunity? I heard him say this week in San Fran when he did media. Like, I just think
Cannoli, stop.
You got to have confidence. And I think that last year, the 2-14 season, it broke him.
And that's my worry about this year. That's why Glenn, and I don't want to keep beating this, has to just start new. But we're not going to. And I still think within the first 30, whatever, what did we pick? 33, 32? When did we pick in the second round?
Pick 33.
Between somewhere in the first 33 picks, we're taking a quarterback. Like somewhere we're taking a pick there. We're taking a quarterback there. So that quarterback's going to be expected to play at some point this season. Maybe not right away, but at some point. And you're doing this with Glenn, and you're going to have to fire Glenn mid-season with a new quarterback, or at the latest at the end of the season, and then start all over again. It's, all right, we're going to bring another
difference in taking a quarterback in the second round versus pick 2, which I don't think they'll do, and pick 16. Like, there's a big difference in that because you could take another quarterback a year from now with a new head coach and pair them up together.
I think there's a chance that they take, if Simpson's available at 16, which I think he will be. I think there's a 50-50 shot the Jets take him. Like, it's not a super strong draft. They have 2 second-round picks in case dismissed. Like, they can still walk away with a lot of high-quality picks if Ty Simpson doesn't work out. I think the Jets are in position to take Simpson at 16. I think that's like the top of where he would go. Like, he's a second half of the first-round guy. He's sitting there at 16. I got 2 picks in round 2. Let me roll the dice.
It might be down by 16. Too many teams need quarterbacks. You never know.
And there are people like Chase Daniel loves him. I don't love Chase Daniel as an out, but Chase Daniel thinks he's great. Like, Chase Daniel thinks he's better than Mendoza. So, and there was a time when people thought that. Like, there's upside in Ty Simpson. He just played so poorly for half the season. Right? He played so bad for a long chunk of time. It's like, do I really want to take a guy in the first round who struggled in college?
I mean, look, there were moments where he was awesome, like at the beginning of the year. Then he played through an injury that was a lot worse than what anyone was letting on. I learned it at the Senior Bowl. And, you know, they had a bad finish to their year. They had no running game. His receivers had a ton of drops. Go watch, you know, Joe Blewett's film review on that. He has play after play of his receivers failing him. So I think that's all part of it too.
I think we're starting to cope for because we think that I think there's a real possibility that Ty Simpson's going to play for the Jets next year.
Well, there is. There definitely is. He could be the pick at 16. I don't like it because I don't believe in the head coach. So I'd rather just wait one more year to ideally draft a quarterback. And what we think, again, we don't know, we think is a better quarterback class next year.
I said that. I thought I love this quarterback class. I'd rather just draft like Cade Klubnik or Drew Aller on day 3. And just if that doesn't work, at least it didn't cost you anything.
Nussmeier, baby. The Nuss Bus.
That's who you like. You like Nussmeier. Nussmeier's got upside. You like Nussmeier?
Booger McFarland liked him too. If you watch that interview I did with him.
Isn't Booger McFarland an LSU guy?
Yeah, but he knows about him. He obviously watched him a lot more. He knows what happened with why it didn't work this year with him getting hurt and that program being a mess.
I'm okay with. He's got upside. It's the same thing. If you like him better than Drew Aller, take him over Drew Aller. But it's the same kind of pick. You're taking a big, strong quarterback with a big upside who didn't really fulfill all of his talent. I like Aller better. But if you like Nussmeier, take Nussmeier. I'm not against taking Nussmeier on day 3. I'm not against it at all.
I think they trade out of pick 33 and acquire a third and then take their swing on a quarterback there. That's my early feel how I could see it playing out.
I would do that. I would rather it be Drew Aller. Where is Aller? I haven't really looked at the mocks. Where is Aller expected to go? 4 or 5, something like that.
I think the combine will be big for him because no one has seen him throw since he had shoulder surgery. Is he going to be fully healthy by then? Like, I don't know what his status is. I have to look into that.
This is why quarterbacks like Dante Moore should just go out. Like, Drew Aller would have been taken in the first round last year. He would have been taken in that Giants pick because everyone had him above Jackson Dart last year. He would be a Giant right now if he would have went in last year's draft, but he went back and now he's going to be a 4th round pick. Like, it's why Dante Moore, you don't know what's going to happen next year. Moore would have been the 2nd pick in this year's draft. Maybe he's just really, it's like, I'm going to make $4 or $5 million anyway. I really don't want to play for the Jets. That's a possibility too. I mean, roll his dice next year and see what comes up next year. But I mean, I think there's a real possibility that Dante Moore looked at the top of the draft, saw the Raiders and the Jets and was like, I'm good, dog. I'll wait till next year.
Which I think he's making a mistake financially. We'll see if in the long term he gets drafted still in the first round. He goes to another. If he gets a second contract, it's all worth it. Then fine, you did what you did. But who knows? I mean, plenty of guys a year ago we were talking about being top 10 picks this year, and where are those guys now? No one knew who Fernando Mendoza was a year ago.
We say he hurt himself financially, right? And I immediately he does, right? Because instead of making, $4 or $5 million a year, he could have a guarantee. I don't know what the second pick in the draft gets. Let's say it's a guarantee of $50 million. It's a big difference. But he's rolling the dice on himself. Like if Sam Darnold would have went back to USC for his senior year, right? And then got drafted by a good team, would he have made more money or less money in his career? Probably more, because he would have been put on the right path right away instead of having to go be a backup and take short money, right? He would have.
Yeah, but what if he got hurt and then he never got drafted, and then who knows what is like? How many Tom Brady's never get the opportunity? Right? We never know.
That's true. It's a risk. If it were my kid, if Dante Moore was my son, and said, "Dad, so I go to the NFL, you should take the money right away."
Of course, it's $55 million guaranteed, pretty much.
Take it. if it doesn't work out, if it fails miserably, if you tear your Achilles and never walk again, at least you'll never have to work again ever again as long as you live. So take the money and you're generationally rich for the rest of your life. Take it day one. But he's rolling the dice, and like I said, he made $2 million last year. He's probably gonna make double that at least this year. So it's not like he's standing outside of a store with a cup in his hand begging for change, right? He'll be all right. But I would take the money too, for sure. 100% I would take the money. But if it's me and I get a day 3 pick or a 3rd round pick or later, I'm taking Drew Aller.
Gary, great call. You really hit on a myriad of topics today.
All right. Shout out. And best of luck to Bobby. That sucks. He's losing a toe.
What do you think you should do with the toe?
Like a tooth to have a toe fairy? Does a toe fairy come and leave you a dollar underneath it? Yeah. I would do that. Leave it underneath your pillow. Maybe the toe fairy will come and leave you a dollar. How much do you get for what is the going rate for the tooth fairy now? What does the tooth fairy give you?
Parents, please comment.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
What a show this has been, huh? Could be some offseason here. Hey, Sean the mailman is in the house. He gifted a membership to himself. He just hit the join button and said, I want in on the raffle this week. I want to be a channel member. I want to see members only videos. I want emoji access. Leon says Muji will call about CJ Stroud. Houston won't trade him, though. Yeah, I mean, again, you want CJ Stroud? I don't. I don't think he can handle playing in New York. PBM wants to know, will we see the Jets in the playoffs by 2030? Absolutely, we will. We definitely will. I believe it. I believe that we will definitely see the Jets in the playoffs by 2030. I can feel it. Smash the like, says Rich. He's right. We have 570 people watching live on YouTube. Hit the like button. Twitter lies about their numbers. Don't believe anything you see from Twitter, but it says 478 on X. I don't buy that, but that's what they say. KJ says, Jake, DNR style, cuddle, marry, trash, Tua, Murray, or Cousins for next year. Who'd you prefer? Marry, Cousins, cuddle, Murray, trash, Tua. Tua can't play in the cold weather, and he's always hurt. At least Murray could play when he's healthy. He's just been banged up. There's been moments. I don't want him either, though. Cousins, I think, would be my preference now that we know he's going to get released. I think he's going to have other options. Minnesota could bring him in. I could see Kirk Cousins going to Pittsburgh if Rodgers ends up not retiring. There's a lot of other options, but we'll see. I mean, again, the Jets do have an offensive line that can protect Cousins. They have a number 1 receiver. They got A.D. Mitchell, friend of the show. They got some pieces. They're not bereft of talent on offense. They just have major questions with the coach and obviously the defense right now. What do we got here? Luby says Tua for the first 6 games. Yeah, then he gets hurt and then he's done. Again, he can't play in the cold, and he's a hit away from being done with football. Daniel says, who should get more minutes, Kolick or Alvarado? I mean, look, you just made the trade for Alvarado, and he was great in his debut yesterday against Boston. But Kolick will still get some time with McBride down. All right, home stretch of the show. If you want in on the weekly raffle, make sure you gift. Also, my March for Art shirt that I ordered for myself arrived this week. I'll wear it on the show this week. It arrived when I was in San Fran. It came out great. So jakeasman.com/shop if you want one. These have been a bestseller since we made them available in the store. Couple calls left. Then we wrap this baby up. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line right now is a man who definitely enjoyed Bad Bunny's performance.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully he not sleeping. Adios mio.
What's up, Jake? How we doing?
How was your Super Bowl experience, V-Man? Did you enjoy Mr. Bunny?
Oh, that was great. Yo, I got to say that man, Matt is going to be a Met. That couple is never going to forget that. That is just insane that he actually brought a couple on to get married at the halftime show.
That could have been you, V-Man. We just need to find you a lovely lady.
All right, yeah, no, I thought I'd come on. Maybe if anybody wanted to know, if anybody's curious about some of the messaging and some of the history in the halftime show.
So you called in to be an interpreter of the Bad Bunny performance?
Well, if you wanted, but like I said, I mean, first off, that was just a great game. I mean, just to watch the Patriots, that's got to be their second most humiliating Super Bowl performance ever. I mean, obviously, nothing will ever top getting obliterated by the Bears in the '86 Super Bowl.
You weren't alive for that, though.
I know what my cousin was, so I'm gonna call him tonight and ask him which one hurt more. I mean, I know the answer already. But it was great to see. It was great to see Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl and other former Jets, Leonard Williams. How many former Jets have we had now go on to win a Super Bowl? Like, way too many.
Well, if you do first round picks alone, Benigno named all of them.
Yeah, I missed that part. I was walking the dog.
Keyshawn, Revis, James Farrier, Burgess Owens, obviously Darnold and Leonard Williams now. Quite a few.
Yeah, no. So like I said, obviously, we got to figure this thing out with this team. It's. I mean, like I said, it's nice to see him because after everything he's gone through the win, but I just want us to have that moment, and I know we all want to have that moment.
What will you do if the Jets win the Super Bowl, but Mike Tomlin's the coach that doesn't?
Well, I'll wake up because that's not reality.
But what if it happens? Will you be happy?
Like, if by some insane miracle that actually happens, which I don't think it will, then yes.
Got it. So if Mike Tomlin becomes the Jet head coach and he wins a Super Bowl, you would be happy.
Yes, but like I said, I think you've got better chance of world peace than that.
Really?
Yeah. But like I said, you want me to break down some of the stuff for the halftime? Like, there's a lot of stuff in there that's like, and my mother was watching it and she was just loving it because obviously my mother's full blown Puerto Rican, so like she got all the a lot of little references. She got them and just figured them out. Laugh and just like was just smiling at them. You don't know like the opening in the sugarcane field. That's a rep, and you got the pava hats that they wore. Those are the hats of the Jibaro farmers, which are the traditional rural farmers of Puerto Rico. You have the Agua stand. I don't know if you saw the Mexico-Puerto Rico boxing rivalry.
Do you consider yourself a Bad Bunny expert?
No, like I only got into him with the latest album, like with his Divide para Más Fotos album, and then you had like that's when I got into him now because it's a very the album is a love letter to Puerto Rico, and so that's what I really got in. And so let's see whether
would you rather tickets to a Bad Bunny concert or to a Jets opening game of the season, home opener?
Well, like I said, probably the home opener because, like I said, I'm not a concert. Like I said, I don't care. I'm not a big concert person. Like I could care less if I'm in the concert or I'm listening to them on YouTube. Like I'm just saying that. Like that's the thing. I could care less. I'm more like I said. I'm not the biggest concert person, so I'll take the Jets Super Bowl. I can just enjoy listening to music in the comfort of my own home.
I said home opener, not Super Bowl.
I know that, and I said like I'm more comfortable listening with music in my own home, so I'll take the home opener.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but yeah, a lot of references. Oh, and then I love that I don't know if you saw that old lady that gave him the shot glass. She actually runs a bar. She runs a Puerto Rican bar in New York City. It's actually a really cool spot. If you ever, it's called Tonitas. And she's a really sweet old lady, and my sister thinks she looks like my grandmother for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, my sister says, she totally looks like me. I'm like, no, I don't see it. Like, yeah, no. But yeah, that's and then you had obviously Ricky Martin, and he obviously brought in fucking Ricky Martin singing and in the Quattro. Like, yeah, no, I just loved it. I loved them. I thought it was a great show. I thought, you know, the messaging was what this now and everything. But like I said, I enjoyed the Super Bowl. Oh, I'm gonna ask you, Jake, what was your Super Bowl fixings?
My Super Bowl fixings?
Yeah, like your snacks.
What did I eat? We had copious amounts of chips, some dips. Then we went all out with the food spread. We had an enormous amount of wings. We had mozzarella sticks. We had mini hot dogs. We had French fries. And we had ice cream.
Oh, it's cool. I made some buffalo chicken empanadas.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did you love it?
Yeah, they were good. I made them from scratch. Like, you know, some people will just like buy a rotisserie chicken, shred up the chicken, and then put it in the empanadas. I actually cooked. I cooked the chicken, cut it up, coated it in buffalo sauce, fried it. They were great.
How's your stomach doing today?
It's fine. It's my head. It's my head that's bugging me. I had a little too much to drink. That's good.
Good job.
Yeah, no, I'm wearing my Puerto Rico. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw it. They were like after the halftime show, they were still partying in the parking lot. I don't know if you saw the clip of it. Like all the halftime show performers were just still blasting music and partying out in the parking lot.
Now, before we let you run, V-Man, can you give us an idea of what you were doing during the halftime show? Like what your dance moves were?
I was actually just sitting down. I was watching with my mom sit down upstairs. I was upstairs in my loft.
You didn't move a little bit? Yeah, no shoulders back and forth, arms swaying?
Maybe a little like that, but you know.
Give us a reenactment.
All right, yeah, no, but I gotta do some other things. Like now I gotta get ready for the World Baseball Classic, which I unfortunately jinxed in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
So you got?
Yeah, no, like I said, yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm not gonna look up the World Baseball Classic roster because I unfortunately jinxed Puerto Rico.
Well, V-Man, you're one of one. Keep doing your thing.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully you're not sleeping. Ay, caramba.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the show, it's an OG right there. That's V-Man. All the regulars starting to call in. Remember, as Maniac Madness is upon us, you had to have called in at least once over the last 3 months if you're going to be in the tournament this year, if you're going to qualify. Couple calls left. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 2 left. If you're on hold, you're guaranteed to get on, so stay right there.
Adam is cool, although kind of basic. He claims he's too cool, though often quite basic. He makes great jet points, looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Hey, Jake, bang up job last week, man. How do you do it?
One day at a time, Adam. One day at a time, but I appreciate it.
You're a consummate professional. It's awesome seeing the guests get better and better every year and watching the journey. I just think it's tremendous, man. Keep up the great work.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that a lot. And it doesn't happen without this audience supporting the channel year round. So we could spend $1,100 on Wi-Fi, for example, just to be out there in the first place and do those shows.
Hell yeah, man. Keep them coming. Don't stop. You're on fire. So, did you see the halftime show? Just curious, because I felt like you left a joke out there, and I'm just going to do it for V-Man. V-Man was the child sleeping at the wedding. He was there. And, I mean, that was him. I'm surprised he didn't recognize himself in the video.
Well done.
Yep. No, very good. Well, it also, honestly, I think V-Man was really up for some V-Man splaining, and he didn't really do it. And that was nice of him. Appreciate it. I think we can all look at the USA Today video to see all the Easter eggs, and I thought it was really good. Actually, I need to watch it a second time. The first time I didn't understand what I was watching, and then second time around, I got it. I got the vibe, and I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really nice celebration of Puerto Rico in a different way than I'm used to seeing, which is pretty cool. So, in terms of the game, I was actually surprised that McDaniels didn't have a better offensive game plan. So that's to our benefit as Jets fans to see him fall on his face, like no design runs for Drake May the whole game. What's up with that, right?
I look, the way they were using Witherspoon blitzing off the edge, like they just kept getting pressure in different ways. It felt like New England was not able to make any adjustments to the different blitz packages that Seattle had. And then they also just got a lot of pressure by not even bringing in extra rushers. That was a dominant performance by their defense last night. It really was. They had no answers on the New England side.
Yeah. And every time they kept saying like, oh, it's just a 4-man blitz. It's a 4-man blitz. I'm having these like flashbacks of Salah because it's all we would do is like a 4-man rush every play. I'm like, well, we had the ingredients, I suppose. We just couldn't put it together.
I mean, Seattle trailed for only 1 minute and 35 seconds the entire postseason. Like they proved to be a great team. Like they really were amazing. And also the bugaboo with Sam in the regular season was as good as he played. He did turn the ball over a decent amount, and he didn't turn it over once in the playoffs.
That's right. That's what matters. That's absolutely what matters. So good on Sam. I was wearing his rookie jersey. Very, very happy for him.
I would have worn mine too if I had it. It's at my parents' house. I don't have it here in the city. I was trying to find it, but I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, but you know what I was thinking? Like maybe our approach to quarterback needs to change. Like the idea of finding the savior in the draft that's gonna be great day one. Maybe that's not a realistic expectation for the franchise. Maybe the better play is to find an aspiring QB with potential that for whatever reason is not going to sign with his original team for an extension, and then you just sign him for whatever the market rate is, because the way that the cap's increasing every year, like who the hell cares what the market rate is year one when it becomes a pretty good deal year 3 or 4. Like maybe that's the approach. Like stop trying to like develop the quarterback. Just find one that's ready to go. That's at market rate. That's the top of the line. That's not a project like Fields was. And maybe that's the better approach long term, because we keep trying to like hit the lottery with QB, and maybe that's not the path. Maybe the path was like the Fitzpatrick McCown kind of deal. Maybe not that old.
Those guys are old though, or whatever. Like Sam Darnold's 28. Like he's on his 15 because he got drafted so young. Like it's not the same thing. The approach this offseason should be don't reach on a quarterback, build your roster up.
Yeah.
So the quote unquote savior that comes in, you're not asking them to do it right away. You have an infrastructure in place for them to have a chance to grow into the job.
Exactly. So I just think like we got to look at things differently. I think everyone looks at the whole like Brock Purdy thing for the first couple of years, like, wow, what a steal. Look how great San Fran is. But then they have to pay him eventually anyway. So like, why do we need to be on the hook for developing quarterbacks when we're just not that great at it? Like, just know your strengths.
But that's still the best way to build your team, though. Like the Pats weren't ready for Drake May necessarily, but you took them. But just like you don't force the pick, though, is the lesson. Like if there's a quarterback worthy of taking, you take it because you never know when you're going to be picking that high again to get one. You could have a 3-14 season like the Jets just did, and there's no quarterback to take. So if there's one there when you're bad enough to be picking that high, you got to do it because you just don't know. But there's multiple ways to build your team is the lesson.
Yeah, you're right. I just it's just interesting to see the Sam Darnold journey and wonder if there's lessons around that in terms of the approach. But good for him. Good for us that the Patriots lost because they really did have a cakewalk into the Super Bowl, and they were.
It was nice to see them get destroyed because it justified what many of us felt, and people would call us haters. It's like you guys are a good team, but you're not 14-3 good. You're not rolled to the Super Bowl without really being tested good and barely beat a backup quarterback.
Yeah, let's see them run it back with a harder schedule. They have to go and play Denver, a healthy Denver, hopefully. They have to play Seattle again, if I'm not mistaken. They have to play Houston. Jacksonville, not Houston. They have to play Jacksonville, right? So I think that's the one. Who won? Was it the Jags that won the South? I think it was, right?
Jacksonville, yep.
Yeah, so they play Jacksonville. That won't be an easy out. And then they have to go play Pittsburgh. So they're going to have a tougher schedule. And we'll have to see if they'll have to try and prove that they can repeat it again. The Super Bowl loser doesn't always make it back so easily. It's usually kind of an uphill struggle for the Super Bowl loser. So more of the same, I hope, for them.
Adam, Good call. Appreciate you. Look, and to see New England get their ass kicked was awesome. Sam Darnold. He wasn't the one seeing ghosts last night. That was Drake May. Abu Dhabi in the raffle for 2. We're all Sam truthers today. Amen. We are. We love you, Sam.
Jets, Jets.
Hell yeah. Today's closer is MTA Winston. What's up, Winston?
Hey, what's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
What's up, dude?
Just over here at work. Hey, listen, man, I'll make it quick, man. I just want to shout out you for doing a tremendous job. I love the Harrison. I'm like a new fan of Phillips now, man.
I got to get his jersey. I'm with you, man. That guy is awesome. He's
dude,
a winner.
that dude is awesome, bro. That was a great interview, bro. Good job on that, man. Good job on the whole weekend, bro. And, you know, I'll make it quick because I got to get out of here myself. Sam Darnold, man, I'm so proud of him. We did him wrong. You know, I'm proud of Leonard Williams as well. Like, look at the impact of the Jets, right? Sam Darnold, right? He maintained the game, threw his touchdown, did his 202 yards. Leonard Williams drops on the forced fumble, right? Jason Myers kicks 5 field goals, breaks the record, and they all were on our team at one point at the same time. And so it makes you really think, man. Like, Jesus Christ, you know, it's oh man, it's really crazy to me, bro. It's really, I just can't get over it, man. I know I've been down this road for almost 40 years, bro. Yeah, I've been watching these guys since '86, man. And I feel what he's saying to go about the quarterback different, but we've done every angle of trying to get a quarterback, whether it's a veteran, whether it's a draft pick, or whatever, it's a free agent. We bring it, whatever we did, we just don't get it right, man. And it's just time to get it right, man. And it's just time to get it right. I don't know what we're gonna do with Glenn, you know. This is what I gotta say to everybody about Aaron Glenn. The team he came in with, it wasn't his team, man. Muji's the right upside of it, everything. He's doing tremendous, great moves so far as building capital, bringing in players that actually play. Okay, I'm not so worried about the draft because all the players that we drafted under their first year got playing time and did okay. They did okay. I'm not going to say they're the greatest. Isaiah Thomas, these guys, Mason Taylor, they were playable. See, so I want to see this year where they take it, you know, with the draft picks and see what they really do. Because now this year, it's going to be their team. Plus, we have the salary cap. You know, we have a high cap to get free agent players. So it's going to be their team. So Glenn is not the greatest coach. It didn't look that way, but he was a good motivator. The guys did play for him for the most part, even when they went on a 7-game losing streak and traded people. You know, he makes it look like a circus show off season. Yeah, okay, because he doesn't know what he's doing. We know that, but we gotta give him a chance to try to get it right. He's a first-time coach. We all know that. That's what you get with the first-time coach. So let's be positive.
Not always, though, Winston. To be fair, there's been plenty of first-time coaches, and very few had a year as bad as Glenn in year one historically. So he's got a lot to prove, man. He's lucky to have a job. He's here. He's the Jet coach. Right. So Jet fans all should be rooting for him to figure it out and turn it around. But he's got a lot to prove.
Trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. Exactly what you just said. To be fair, if we're going to be fair, right? So let's not. You know, if he does great, then we're going to be great, and it's going to be all forgotten about, right? Winning makes people forget. If
That's it.
Then we know we're going to get a new coach, and we got 3 draft first-round picks, and we start from there. But I'm just tired of the changing. I've seen it for so many years. I mean, literally so many years. So that's just where I'm just tired, bro. I'm a Jet fan who's tired, real fan who's tired, bro. So let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. That's all we can do.
Hey, hopefully better days are ahead, man.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Don't let go, Winston. All right, you're working hard for the MTA today. We see you. Stay warm. We got to hope he gets better. Again, he's here, right? Hopefully that Muji does a good job adding talent to the roster. No matter who the coach is a year from now, you're in a better spot. That's how you got to look at it. But until proven otherwise, every Jet fan coming off a 3-win season where 50% of the staff was fired and both coordinators were replaced, you have every right to be questioning it. You do. There's a reason why the Jets, as we sit here right now, where the odds from FanDuel have the worst Super Bowl odds in the league of 32 teams. There's a reason for that. That's the perception of the Jets right now, which means the expectations are low, so they could surprise us and make us feel better because we're not expecting anything right now unless you're truly a homer. If you're the ultimate bootlicker of bootlickers, maybe you're expecting something, but most people aren't. So that's how you could spin it around into a positive. Fun show. Thank you to Joe B for joining us.
What is this? Who is this guy? Bad freaking Bunny. What is that?
We will be back this afternoon with our second show. You guys are the best. Please like the video before you leave. That's the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel before you leave. That really helps us continue to grow, and spread the word. Share the link with your favorite Jet fans. Tell them that they can listen in audio form as well. I met a couple listeners in the Bay Area who are podcast consumers of the show. So check it out. We're live every day, twice a day in the 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern time hour. We'll be back all throughout the week. We'll be live in Indianapolis coming up starting February 23rd. So we'll keep you company throughout the Jet offseason, as there's a lot, as usual, to always discuss with this football team. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon. And in honor of our guy, Bobby Midnight, going through his toe situation, we'll pay homage and give you a little best of Bobby Midnight on the way out of here. Go Jets, everyone.
When
was the last time you took a shower?
I don't know. Thursday evening.
You haven't showered since Thursday?
Yeah,
you probably reek.
Oh,
He stinks.
yeah.
Oh, you gotta be disgusting.
I'm gonna get gonorrhea and kiss on the cheek. Yeah. Oh, I got gonorrhea. Oh my God, I got gonorrhea. Cheeks, my cheeks. Gonorrhea. You have to have sex to have gonorrhea.
Oh no!
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.